Thank you, Dirk. And I'm thrilled to be back here. Cordula and I have worked together a long time ago, and that speaks also of how sustainable we are in this industry. So, good morning. My name is Eduardo Lafforgue. I'm the Director of Tourism with the government of the Yukon. I like to acknowledge for the fourth time this morning the presence of our ambassador, Madame Delique. Thank you very much. And also the hard work of my colleague, Sarah March. Without her work, we would not be here today. She has been persistent and dedicated to get us here today. So the Yukon is located in northern Canada, and it's almost the same size as Spain. We are 43,000 residents and 400,000 caribous. The Yukon is home of the 14 First Nations, 11 of which have self-governing agreements. In the Yukon, before we start our presentations, we take time to acknowledge where we live and work in our environment on the territorial territory. We live and work in the territorial traditional territories of the Quinlan First Nations and the Tanquanchan Council. Those two First Nations that are the original inhabitants of the area around Whitehorse. These connect us to our land. So every time before starting a presentation, we do this land acknowledgement. So in 2018, 15 organizations signed into the collective launched the Yukon Tourism Development Strategy. The strategy was the result of a comprehensive Yukon-wide community engagement. We spoke to Yukoners, tourism operators, municipalities, chambers of commerce, Yukon First Nations, and many others. Sustainable tourism was identified as a key goal for the sector. The collective vision is for tourism to be vibrant, sustainable component of the Yukon economy and the society. Three goals were also identified and include a thriving tourism economy, resident support for tourism, and sustainable tourism development. To understand the various aspects and impact of tourism, we were tasked with building sustainable tourism framework. We adopted the INSTO framework because it reflects the goals, values, and realities of tourism in the Yukon. I would like to play this short video that we created for our stakeholders to help us explain why we need to adopt the framework.
A thriving tourism sector is important to our economy. It helps support our communities and provides numerous benefits. Tourism provides opportunities for employment and training. It provides opportunities for Yukon First Nations to share and celebrate their stories through language, culture, and traditions. And it provides Yukoners with access to a wide variety of cultural and recreational experiences, amenities, and flight routes that enrich our day-to-day lives. But if tourism isn't managed well, it can also have unwanted consequences, such as the deterioration of infrastructure, pollution, and reduced access to attractions. To support better tourism management, the government of Yukon spoke with Yukoners, tourism operators, arts and culture organizations, Yukon communities, Yukon First Nations, and many others, in order to develop a tourism vision for the Yukon. The Yukon Tourism Development Strategy was the result, and sustainability was identified as a key goal. To achieve it, we've created an approach to measuring and supporting sustainable tourism development. This framework will help us understand tourism's influence on things Yukoners value, like our ways of life, the environment, and heritage and cultures. It will also help us understand how tourism impacts our natural resources, waste management infrastructure, and climate change. The framework uses a collaborative approach to measuring tourism and will help facilitate communication and decision-making among residents, operators, organizations, and governments. To improve these abilities over the long term, the government of Yukon is joining the United Nations International Network of Sustainable Tourism Observatories, a network of 30 destinations from around the world who regularly measure and support sustainable tourism development. The Yukon Sustainable Tourism Framework will help enhance the positive benefits from tourism and help safeguard the Yukon's precious and beloved communities, environments, and cultures from negative impacts. In short, our measurement framework ensures tourism improves the lives of Yukoners and strikes a balance between our economic, social, and environmental values.
So, in addition to the 11 key elements that we are required to monitor, which you see in blue, well, it's more black here, but it was blue. We identified 6 additional elements that are important for the Yukon, which were green, well, still green. These elements include cultural sustainability, natural environment, infrastructure, resident travel, visitor sentiment, and health and safety. For each of its elements, we work with the Yukon-based expert and partners to identify what we should be monitoring and measuring with each element. The framework is also the first step towards sustainability. Our next step will see the development of an online dashboard where the information we monitor will be shared publicly. We hope partners will use the information to help with decision-making, investment, or identifying aspects of tourism that we need to improve. We have also started work on establishing the local working group, wherein identifying and having approximately 15 individuals who have varying sets of knowledge, expertise, and insight to help oversee the guide of the framework. We're hoping to finalize those members soon and host our first meeting early this winter. Our final goal is to legitimately influence policy. I would like to share another very short video. I will show you the land that we need to protect while we're doing this. This is what we have to protect. And this is why it's so important. And we are so proud to be part of this important, incredible network for the future of our industry. Thank you very much.